Hello and welcome to another fabulous Electronic Cafe Celebrates episode, looking at albums that are 40 years old this year. And this one in particular is by the fantastic Bryan Ferry. It was the 6th solo studio album, Boys and Girls, released on the 3rd of June by EG Records. It was actually, I think it was Ferry's first solo album in 7 years, and I think it was the first since he disbanded with Roxy in '83.
As Andy said, having put Roxy to bed with their final set of elegant albums, Bryan Ferry continued in the Roxy spirit with his own return to solo work, and with an album that could quite easily be considered as a latter-day Roxy album. An album that is cool, suave, smooth and debonair, rather than the ragged, rock-edged explosion of the early Roxy.
And I think the album was Ferry's first and only #1 solo album in the UK. It was certified platinum by the BPI and contains 2 obviously well-known UK top 40 hit singles. It is also Ferry's most successful solo album in the US, having been certified gold for sales in excess of 500,000 copies over in the USA.
The album is dedicated to Bryan Ferry's father, and the Boys and Girls album formed 3/4 of Bryan Ferry's setlist when he played Live Aid at Wembley Stadium in 1985.
The album obviously contained the fantastic Slave to Love, which became one of Ferry's most popular songs. The single was released in '85 and spent 9 weeks in the UK charts in '85, peaking at number 10, along with some other singles, Don't Stop the Dance and Windswept.
Personally, I would say this album is the 80s Ferry at his finest, and it's chock full of hooks, melodies, with brilliant playing and arrangements, which isn't surprising as most of the musicians on here are also stars in their own right.
There's some really good guitarists on this album actually as well. I think the guitar solo at the end of Slave to Love had Neil Hubbard, and the album was had some other great axemen, as I call them, like Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits, David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, Nile Rodgers of Chic, and Keith Scott from Bryan Adams Band.
This is a Bryan Ferry masterpiece, no question. This is the album where all the slick, cool Bryan Ferry moving parts all came together. Although Avalon is also a superb album, it could almost be considered as a dry run for this monumental effort.
You know, it's a great, cool album in terms of personifying everything that makes Ferry such a cool guy. He is, and you know, the stuff he did with Roxy, I think, will never be bettered. It's absolutely fantastic. But, you know, he made a pretty good fist of it with his solo stuff. And I think, you know, Boys and Girls, for me, is the best Ferry solo album that he's released in his career. Check it out. 40 years old. God, I saw it again. I remember hearing that for the first time. It seems like it was only yesterday. But it is a great album to check out. I say Boys and Girls by Bryan Ferry. Happy anniversary.